Hi YouTube, it's Janelle here. In this video, I'm going to be taking a question from a viewer and subscriber. But first, I have two quick things. One, I just want to remind everybody to check out the Patreon link in the description box below. Go ahead over there and definitely consider giving even just $1 a month if you could find it in your heart and in your budget to give. That helps me to continue creating content right here on this channel. And then the second thing is to just go over to my Instagram and Facebook page and follow me, add me, like me, all that stuff. I try to post content every week and show what I'm learning and also just what's going on in my life that I feel like sharing. Okay, so I'm gonna take a question now from a viewer and subscriber named Tagara. Tagara says, hey, Miss Be Helpful, my name is Tagara. I'm 20 years old and I'm a junior in college. I recently found your channel and have been binge watching your videos like crazy. Okay, that I feel like I need to put the emoji with like the heart eyes here, like, because that makes me so happy. I'm just like, oh, that's literally why I created this channel. So thanks, girl. I've learned a lot in a short amount of time, and I want to thank you for that. You're very welcome. Even though I'm young, I really do believe that financial literacy is important. Yes, girl. With that being said, I am young, and though I'm really good at saving my money, I sometimes will go online window shopping. That's what I call it. It's where I look at clothes and shoes that I really want to buy, and though I don't buy them, I really, really want these new clothes and shoes. So my question is, since I know you vigorously save your money, is there anything that you indulge in? You know, things that you splurge on. I know retirement is important, but I'm still wanting to enjoy my 20s. Okay, so Tagara, first things first, you are so lucky. I mean, you're 20 years old, you're a junior in college. I wish I could go back in time and be 20 years old, a junior in college again, so that I could be where you are, which is asking these types of questions and reaching out for resources like you're doing right now. So first of all, like, you're just right now on the right track. You're already doing the right things. So, trust that and just be so proud of yourself, because that's definitely not something that every 20-year-old can say. And I definitely can't say that I was doing that when I was 20. So yeah, you're really, really lucky, and you're definitely spot on in terms of thinking about the right things at this age. Now, what I will say is, to be completely honest, if I had to go back and be 20 again, I would have probably have a completely different answer, right? Because I didn't know what my life was going to be like 10 years later, or even 5 years later, or maybe even 1 or 2 years later. I was never really thinking ahead when I was your age. So what I'll say is, I'll kind of answer it in two ways. I'll answer it with the answer that I'm going to give you right now, and then also like what I would go back in time and tell myself when I was 20, which is kind of, they're similar. But the first thing that I would say right now is, the way that my budget is set up and the way that I constantly try to readjust my budget to be every month, is to put aside a certain amount of money for, obviously, like what you said, retirement, my savings. Like, I'm trying to be really aggressive with that stuff, because I don't want to be, a cog in the machine for the rest of my life. I don't want to be working at a job for somebody else for the rest of my life. I want to be able to do projects and work that I really, really love and want to do, even if I'm not bringing in money from it, just because I don't have to work for money. I'm financially independent. So that's a big goal of mine eventually, right? And so in order to be able to do that, I have to not spend a lot of money on luxury items and things like food and clothes and whatever else I used to spend a lot of money on. So the way that I set up my budget now is I set aside money for all of that. And then whatever money I have left over that I'm like, oh, this is like my fun money, this is like my flexible spending money, that money I will decide to try to always, as much as possible, use it on experiences and not on things. So for me, that means, like, I'm not buying a purse, I'm not buying a belt or a pair of shoes, boots, or I don't know, some makeup, or I don't know, whatever stuff I used to buy. I don't even know. I don't shop anymore. But when I was like a shopping addict, I would just literally buy anything. I would buy candles, I would buy scarves, I would buy like new bed pillows, I would literally like anything. And the thing is, like, I just was so in the habit of just buying stuff, because I was like, oh, I'm young and I don't have crazy bills, I don't have kids yet, like I want to enjoy my life, and so I just buy all this stuff. But so at the point where I am now, I really don't feel like I need to buy anything, specific objects or things and material, like, objects and material belongings that will make me happier. Like, for me to be happy, I'm very simple, but I've decided on, not necessarily decided on, but like I figured out what are the three or four things, I can't do my numbers right now, three or four things that I really, really care about and that make me really happy. And so for me, that is learning new things as much as possible, constantly challenging my brain, using my muscles, and really trying to just better my understanding of the world and understanding of people as much as I can. So I'm constantly trying to learn new things. And I've posted about that before, where I talk about how I try to watch a lot of TED Talks, and I try to listen to a lot of podcasts and read as many books and things like that. So I'm really trying to learn a lot. And then also the other thing is connecting with people. So I used to do it a lot more, and I really do miss, like, because I'm very social, I like to talk a lot. So I do miss talking to people a lot more when I used to do it more. But now I feel like there's less people that I really, really want to talk more to. So my family and my really close friends. So that's something that I definitely do include as something that's really important to me. So if there's an event, someone's having a birthday, or I don't know, like a holiday event, then I will definitely go to those things, because that's an opportunity for me to add value to my life and to be happier, because those are people that I care about, and these are things that matter to me, right? And then just constantly thinking about experiences that will kind of change me in some way, make me better, make me maybe change the way that I view the world. Going to another country if I have the opportunity to save enough money to take a big trip, things like that I know I will never forget. So those are the kinds of things now that I would put in my budget. So for example, this past year, I went to Las Vegas. I took a helicopter ride into the Grand Canyon. That was insane. I mean, growing up, I grew up in the kind of neighborhood where you maybe hear a helicopter far away, but I would never have seen a helicopter like in front of me, let alone get inside of a helicopter. So that was really, really cool. And not a lot of kids who grew up like me in the neighborhood that I grew up in will be able to say that they got inside of a helicopter in their lifetime. So I feel like those things really excite me, and they make me feel like, wow, like these are things in life that invigorate me. These experiences that I really want to have. I got to be in a helicopter. I got to experience this really cool thing. The Grand Canyon is a place I learned about as a kid and saw pictures in textbooks, but I never thought I would go there. So that was really exciting for me. And so I think trying to figure out what are the experiences that would really make me energized in my life the way that it is now. But to kind of go back to what I was saying before, where that's where I am now. But I also understand that, being 20 and being in your early 20s and being in your late 20s is a very different mindset. I've definitely grown and matured and changed a lot over time. But if I could go back to myself the way that I was when I was 20, so when I was your age, what I would say is definitely focus on the experiences that you're having. And especially if you're in college, there's so many experiences that are going to be crafted and created for you and around you that you can attend for free or for super cheap, that you should be taking advantage of. But also what I would say is focus on skill building, because that is something that I did not really prioritize when I was 20 or in my early 20s, that I really should have. I should have been trying to soak in as many new skills and develop myself to become more skillful. And the reason why I say that is because you never know what skills you will be able to use that will help you in all kinds of different ways, in work, in your projects, in life. And for me, I think the cool thing about the having constantly getting new skills is that just makes you more marketable. It's like adding more to your resume every time you learn new skills. You can put all this stuff on your resume. Means you're really good at a lot of different types of things. So you're more marketable, which means eventually down the line, you can maybe potentially take these skills that you have and make them into something profitable, a service that you can offer, or a product that you create because you have these skills to be more creative than, your average Joe or Jane who isn't really creating or learning skills, but is mostly just consuming. So the average person is just scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Facebook, posting pictures of their pancakes for breakfast. I don't know, whatever. I post pictures of my food, so let me stop. But I mean, I don't just do that. I do that, and I also constantly try to push myself to learn. So there has to be balance. I'm not trying to judge anybody. But at the end of the day, I would tell myself when I was 20 that you really have to focus on really attaining as many new skills as possible. Learn how to use Photoshop while you're in college. Learn how to do video editing. Learn how to, sew. I learned how to sew a little bit after college, but still, I could have learned in college. when I was in college, I learned how to thread my eyebrows. These are skills like now I could definitely charge people if I wanted to do their eyebrows. I don't do that. I do everybody in my family's eyebrows for free. Like all the girls in my family, I do their eyebrows for free because they're my family. But like if I did want to charge, I could. So eventually you could take these skills that you have and bring inside money for yourself and just constantly be creating little streams of income. You can, take video and photography for weddings or for birthdays or for, events, special events. These are the kinds of skills that a lot of people I feel like, at least I can only speak for myself really, but I think a lot of people, I would say in my opinion, a lot of people would likely regret not having earlier in life. And it's never too late, of course. So if you're watching this video and you're not in your early 20s, it doesn't matter. You can literally learn photography today. You can learn, sewing today. You can learn how to use Photoshop today. These are all skills that you can learn at any point. But at the end of the day, the earlier you have those skills, the more of a head start you have and the more time you have to be able to get better at those skills so that you're not a novice, you are an expert. By the time you're 20, in your late 20s, you've known this skill and have potentially maybe used it over and over again and done it over and over again to the point where you're really, really good at it. So the whole point here is that I had a lot of free time in college when I was 20, and I would spend it watching shows on TV. I would spend it scrolling through social media. I would spend it hanging out at the eateries on campus, the cafeteria with my friends, or on the grass chilling with my friends. And not to say that those things aren't things you should do. You should do them, but not let that be the only thing that is consuming your time and energy, and really constantly thinking about ways to be learning new skills, and especially skills that could potentially be profitable for you later in life. So thinking about maybe learning how to code if you're really young, even if you just learn the basics. How many people in the world know the basics of coding? Like, not a lot of people. So really trying to think about how you can learn skills that will really help you position yourself in a better way by the time you go to graduate. And then the last thing that I will say is, there's kind of a sense that I get from the message that you sent that is like, I feel like I have the money, so like, why not like get these things that I want? Like you said that you're really good at saving, but sometimes you go on window shopping. It's kind of like you're tempted, right? It's like you have the money and you could spend it on that, but you almost like you shouldn't, so you don't do it. I think that I'll just say one last thing is connected to your mindset, right? Your mindset is questioning whether you really believe that the money shouldn't be spent on those things. And so for me, I would just say really spend some time thinking more about this idea of like, where should your money be going at this point in your life, because maybe you disagree with me and maybe you don't think experiencing travel is really that important, which is fine. Maybe your big goal is that by the time you graduate college, you want to have enough money to put a down payment on a house. If that's your goal, great. It's different from the goals that I had and the goals that I have now, but it doesn't matter. It's your goals and it belongs to you. Don't let anybody change what you want and what you really want to set as a goal for yourself, but start working towards it. Don't wait till you graduate college to start saving money for that stuff. Do it now. Take $1 from every $10 that you make and put it aside for that goal, and just don't touch it, and be really disciplined about saving that money and really using it only for the goal that you set. Maybe that goal is traveling to another country. Maybe it's learning a new language, or I don't know, taking a really cool class, learning how to scuba dive, or I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do. The point is, if you decide for yourself that it's really, really important, and then start now while you're in school, rather than getting yourself luxury items and going shopping and eating and all this stuff with your money, you will be able to position yourself to do things that you're really interested in doing later, rather than looking back like a lot of people, myself included, and regretting the decisions that you made. Because the biggest thing I could tell you right now is like, I am, thinking back to being your age, 19, 20 years old, how many things that I buy at the store: shoes, clothes, boots, coats, belts, purses, hats, scarves. I don't have any of that stuff anymore. I might have like maybe one or two of those items, but I don't have any of that stuff anymore. So how important really are those things? I don't even remember what those things were. I just wasted so much money on them. But the things that I don't forget, the things that I won't forget, that I'll always have with me and that I'll always remember, are the experiences that I had when I was in school, right? I talked about studying abroad. I talked about, some of the skills that I learned that I still have right now that I use, Photoshop and threading my eyebrows and all these things that I learned to do that I wish I had learned more things when I was in college. I wish I had spent more time and more of my money really making myself a better person, rather than buying luxury items and things that I thought were cool and spending so much time worrying about posting stuff on social media to look cool. It's like that stuff really at the end of the day doesn't matter. But we're wired to think that it does matter and to want people to like tell us that we're, oh, you look amazing. I love that coat. I love those shoes. Like those things don't matter. So, or it shouldn't matter as much. That's all I have in this video that I wanted to share. I definitely think it's really important to be asking questions like this, so I'm glad you sent this to me, Tagara. If you have any other comments or questions that you want to add to what I said, definitely put those in the comments below. If you have any questions that you want to ask me specifically, you can definitely write to me at MissBeHelpful@gmail.com. I try really hard to answer every single email within a couple of days, if not, a week or two, but I get to all of them. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe right away. Show me some love and some support. I definitely try as much as possible to engage with all of my subscribers and viewers, and I appreciate every single one of you. And that's all I have. Till next time, peace.